Describing yourself can be a very challenging task, especially when you only get to choose 3 items to do so. I'm going to introduce myself using 3 objects so that everybody can get to know the semi-quiet girl who really hates speaking in front of people. I'm simple and a little bit of a recluse, which is why the objects I chose are all simple yet solitary objects. I'm going to identify these objects and describe why I chose them to describe myself. So to get started, the first object I chose is a book. I chose a book to show off my nerdy side. I love to learn new things about my surroundings so that I feel like a more productive member of society. I also like to learn new things so that I don't feel so clueless all the time. So learning for me is amazing. I also chose a book because I just love to read. I mostly love to read fiction because it allows you to check out of the real world whenever you need a break and go explore a new world. The second object that I chose is a crochet hook. I chose a crochet hook to show off my creative side. I love making new things, whether that be crocheting or drawing or just crafting in general. I like to crochet baby booties and blankets and scarves, and I like to draw portraits, mostly of people, but sometimes the occasional animal or scenery, and I just like to make things. I make bows and tutus and all kinds of sort of things. I'm definitely a do-it-yourselfer, and crafting for me just lets me relieve stress and kind of have alone time and be myself, so it's wonderful for me. The third object that I chose is a pair of scissors. I chose a pair of scissors to show off my trusting side. Whenever I was a little girl, I let my sisters talk me into letting them cut my hair. I ended up with hair above my ears all around my head and bangs along my hairline almost straight across, and it earned me the nickname Dutch Boy, which my sisters used to taunt me almost every single day. Obviously, this was a bit traumatic for me, but despite this, I also let my boyfriend cut my hair a few months ago, and he cut off over 6 inches of my hair, which was crazy for me, but for someone who doesn't have a hair degree, he actually did a pretty good job, so it didn't turn out so bad. So, to wrap up this speech, I am a dork, which is why I chose a book to as the first object to represent myself. And I'm also very crafty, which is why I chose the crochet hook for the second object to represent myself. And I'm a very trusting person, which is why I chose a pair of scissors to represent myself. I feel like each of the objects fit me pretty well because they're all solitary yet simple objects, and they are big parts of my life.